Are you a history buff? क्या आप इंडियन हिस्ट्री में इंटरेस्टेड है? क्या हमारे भारतीय इतिहास को थोड़ा और करीब से किताबों के बाहर देखना पसंद करेंगे? Do you really want to delve deep into the rich, robust heritage of our Indian culture? If yes, then welcome my friends to our channel Exploring with Travelholics. Because in today's episode, I'm going to showcase the exotic hidden gems, the exquisite marvels of Indian history. But first, a brief recap of the last episode. So, stay tuned. In the previous episode, I have already shown you our coffee plantation tour. A visit to the Mullanagiri Hill. The cascading beauty of Unnamma Devi Falls. Visit to Baba Budangiri Dargah. And finally, our journey through a lovely beautiful trail to the Hirekolale Lake. The link of this video is given in the description box. We are leaving Chikmagalur and on our way to Vrindavan Gardens. Normally, the distance from Chikmagalur to Vrindavan Gardens is about 160 kilometers. That is 3.5 hours drive. But on the way, we would stop at certain must-see places, without which the Karnataka tour is incomplete. So, be with us. रास्ते की बात करें तो रास्ते तो काफी सुंदर है, पिक्चरस्क है और रास्ते का मजा लेते हुए हम लोग भी आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। चलते चलते रोड साइड स्टॉल्स में कुछ ब्यूटीफुल स्टोन कर्विंग्स देखने को मिला, जो हम लोगों को बहुत ही अच्छा लगा। देखते ही देखते हम लोग यागाची डैम साइड तक पहुंच गए हैं। गेट के बाहर कुछ खाने पीने की शॉप्स है, बिग पार्किंग स्पेस भी है। यहाँ हॉर्स राइडिंग भी होता है और यहाँ पे एंट्री बिल्कुल ही फ्री है। It is a neat and a clean place. Entry to the dam is prohibited, but there is a beautiful park to walk around. The Yagachi Dam, located near Belur, is a significant hydroelectric dam constructed across the Yagachi River to harness the river's water resources for irrigation and power generation. The reservoir formed by the dam stretches over a vast area, creating a scenic backdrop of calm waters surrounded by verdant landscapes. It is a popular recreational spot for locals and tourists, offering opportunities for picnicking, boating, and unwinding in nature. Outside the Yagachi Dam side gate, there are some beautiful stoneware to be sold. If anybody happens to see my video and is at Yagachi, then I request please do buy them. ये क्रिस्टल स्टोन मैसूर का है। अच्छा,
मैसूर का अदर है, देखो स्टोन, छोटा स्टोन है।
आप ये पॉलिश कर रहे हो?
पॉलिश नयस करता, रबर बनाता, हम नयस करता।
आपके हस्बैंड बनाते हैं?
हमारे हस्बैंड।
It is a request from my channel Exploring with Travelholics that we should encourage such artworks to be promoted because they are our innate Indian legacy, a part of our traditional heritage. We have liked the serene, peaceful beauty of Yagachi Dam. Wish we had more time here to spend, but हमें अब निकलना पड़ेगा। अगर यागाची को और भी एक्सप्लोर करना चाहते हैं, यहाँ पे ठहरना चाहते हैं, रुकना चाहते हैं, तो यागाची डैम के पास कर्नाटक गवर्नमेंट के होटल मयूरा भी है, जो जाते वक्त बाहर से हमें अच्छा लगा। अब जब यागाची होते हुए जा रहे हैं, then how can we miss Belur, an important historical city? We are greeted by a Hoysala ensemble as we enter Belur. The ensemble only signifies the mighty rule of the Hoysalas once upon a time. बेलूर कर्नाटक के हसान डिस्ट्रिक्ट में यगाची नदी के तीर स्थित, जिसे वेलापुरा नाम से भी जाना जाता है, एक प्राचीन महत्वपूर्ण नगर है। बेलूर was initially the capital of Hoysala Empire before the capital was shifted to Halebedu in the 12th century. The city was so esteemed by the Hoysalas that it was referred to as Earthly Vaikunth or Vishnu's abode. होयसल साम्राज्य अप्रतिम मंदिर वास्तुकला के लिए अत्यंत प्रसिद्ध थे। वे कला, साहित्य तथा धर्म के महान संरक्षक थे। इसका एक जीता जागता उदाहरण है चेन्नकेशव मंदिर। होयसाला डायनेस्टी को युद्ध कौशल में विशेष रूप से निपुण माना जाता है। इन्होंने चालुक्य और कलचुरी वंशों के मध्य चल रहे इंटरनल वॉर्स के लाभ उठाते हुए कर्नाटक के कई क्षेत्रों पर आधिपत्य स्थापित किए थे। By 14th century, they had established their empire in different parts of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Chennakeshava Temple, also called Vijayanarayana Temple, was built by Hoysala King Vishnuvardhana to commemorate his victory over the Cholas in 1117 AD. This is the statue of Garuda facing the Chennakeshava Temple. Garuda is the Vahana of Lord Vishnu. Chennakeshava Temple was repeatedly raided and damaged, and the gateway was burnt down in a raid by a Muslim general Salar and his army working for Muhammad bin Tughlaq. New 7-storied brick Gopuram was constructed by the Vijayanagar Empire in 1397 AD, and it replaced the destroyed gateway. The temple was repaired by the Vijayanagar Empire under the sponsorship of Harihara II. The Chennakeshava temple is a single shrine. It is a Ekakuta Vimana design. It is 178 feet by 156 feet. The temple had a shikhara on top, which was repeatedly destroyed and rebuilt. In the 19th century restorations, the temple was left without a tower. The Chennakeshava temple has 3 entrances, and their doorways have decorated sculptures called Dwarapalaka or doorkeepers on either side. More than 1,000 artists were required to build the temple. The temple was built over 3 generations and took 103 years to be completed. This 12th century marvel showcases exquisite stone carvings depicting various mythological tales and intricate detailing combining elements of North Indian Nagara and South Indian Karnataka style architecture. Chennakeshava literally means handsome Keshava, who is a form of the Hindu god Vishnu. The temple is dedicated to Vishnu and has been an active Hindu temple since its establishment. It is reverentially described in medieval Hindu texts and remains an important pilgrimage site in Vaishnavism. The Hoysala dynasty, which primarily hailed from the Melenadu region of the Western Ghats, ruled large parts of present-day Karnataka between the 11th and the 14th centuries. Historical inscriptions indicate that the Hoysalas were descendants of the Yadavas from Mathura in North India. होयसल उत्तर भारत में मथुरा के यादवों के वंशज थे। लोक कथा ये है कि जब भगवान कृष्ण मथुरा छोड़कर गुजरात के द्वारका के लिए चले गए तो कई यादव भी उनके पीछे चले गए। बाद में वे महाराष्ट्र और वर्तमान कर्नाटक के विभिन्न क्षेत्र में फैल गए। The temple artwork depicts scenes of secular life in the 12th century, dancers and musicians, as well as a pictorial narration of Hindu texts such as the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and the Puranas through numerous friezes. Chennakeshava temple is placed in the middle of the complex. तो चलिए चेन्नकेशव टेम्पल प्रदक्षिण करते हुए टेम्पल का नज़ारा दिखाते हुए कुछ और इंटरेस्टिंग हिस्टोरिकल फैक्ट्स बताते हैं। Chennakeshava temple was repeatedly attacked, damaged and plundered by the armies of Delhi Sultanate and was repeatedly built and repaired over its history. Repairs are evidenced by the varying color and quality of stonework in different parts of the temple. The Vijayanagara Empire sponsored the addition of smaller shrines dedicated to goddesses and the Naganayakana Mandapa within the temple complex. These were constructed by collecting the war ruins of other demolished temples in Belur area and reusing them. There lies the Saumanayaki Shrine. This temple is notable because the local tradition holds that its tower is miniature version of the major tower that once rose above the main Keshava temple. The Andal Shrine, the Saumanayaki Shrine, the Deepastambha at the entrance, the Rama and Narasimha shrines were added during the Vijayanagara Empire era. I must say that the Belur monument of the Hoysalas offers a serene and spiritual experience, making it a must-visit destination equally significant for architecture enthusiasts and spiritual seekers. चन्नाकेशव मंदिर होयसल वास्तुकला के चित्ताकर्षक नमूने में से एक है। असाधारण नक्काशी एवं उत्कृष्ट शिल्पकला के लिए इस मंदिर को स्थानीय रूप से कला सागर कहा जाता है। इसकी सुंदरता इतनी अभिव्यंजक है कि ये सभी निर्जीव पत्थर की कलाकृतियां अत्यंत सजीव प्रतीत होती है। The building material used in the Chennakeshava temple is chloritic schist, more commonly known as soapstone. It is soft when quarried and allows artists to carve details more easily. It is also durable and heat resistant and has a high heat storage capacity. Over time, the material hardens. This is the Vasudeva Sarovara. It is a stepped water tank called Kalyani in inscriptions. It is found in the northeast corner with two stone elephants on its side. Ballala II in 1175 AD constructed this water tank, and he also added temple buildings for kitchen and grain storage in the southeast corner. At present, there are some small turtles in the tank. So let us see some play of the turtles in the tank. This is the Deepastambha, which dates back to the Hoysala era. It is 42 feet in height and made of a single monolithic stone. हमें ये पता चला है कि एक समय इस स्तंभ के चारों ओर सीढ़ियां हुआ करती थी, जिसकी सहायता से दीप स्तंभ के दीप जलाए जाते थे। वर्तमान में स्तंभ के समीप जाने एवं पीठिका पर चढ़ने की अनुमति नहीं है। Chenna Keshava temple complex has a number of small shrines. To the east of Kappe Chennigaraya temple, there are shrines for Narsimha, Rama, Jiyar and Alvars of the Bhakti movement fame. To the east of Andal temple are shrines for Krishna and Vaishnavism scholars like Desikar, Bhashyakara and Ramanuja of Vishishta Advaita Vedanta fame. Just pause the video if you want to see the details of the chronology of the Hoysala dynasty. This is Kappe Chennigaraya temple, which was built concurrently with the main temple, and the queen of Raja Vishnuvardhana, Queen Santhala Devi, sponsored it. Chenna Keshava temple, also called Vijay Narayana temple, was built by Hoysala King Vishnuvardhana to commemorate his victory over the Cholas in 1117 AD. एक अन्य स्थानीय मान्यता के अनुसार इस मंदिर का निर्माण राजा विष्णुवर्धन द्वारा जैन धर्म त्याग कर वैष्णव धर्म अपनाने के उपलक्ष्य में की गई थी। जब राजा विष्णुवर्धन अपने गुरु रामानुचार्य के प्रभाव में हिंदू धर्म अपनाए थे, उनकी रानी शांतला देवी कला, संगीत तथा नृत्य की महान प्रशंसक थी। वे स्वयं एक नृत्य साम्राज्ञी थी और भरतनाट्यम नृत्य में निपुण थी। The most significant period of Hoysala rule occurred during the 12th and 13th centuries under notable rulers like Vishnuvardhana, Ballala II and Veera Ballala III. The Hoysala kings made a concerted effort to establish a new and distinct identity for their kingdom through patronage of art, architecture and literature. As a result, a new form of temple architecture developed that witnessed a cultural fusion of various traditions, including Dravidian, Chalukyan and Chola influences, combining superior intricate carvings with innovative temple plannings. The architectural style and artistic legacy of South India that reached its zenith during the Hoysala era continues to be celebrated in India and abroad. As a result, their temples are popular tourist attractions and are recognized as UNESCO World Heritage Sites. This is the place where the Belur Rath is kept. Belur Rath festival is held with great pomp every year. Now, we are on our way to another famous UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Hoysaleshwar Temple at Halebeedu, which is at a distance of 16 kilometers from Belur in the Hassan district of Karnataka. It is 30 kilometers from Hassan city and about 210 kilometers from Bangalore. Now, we have arrived at one of the oldest temples of India, the Shiva Temple at Halebeedu. The temple is of great architectural significance. होयसालेश्वर मंदिर को हैलेबीडू मंदिर भी कहा जाता है। हैलेबीडू में स्थित 12th सेंचुरी में बनाए गए ये मंदिर भगवान शिव को समर्पित किया गया है। कहा जाता है कि ये मंदिर सिर्फ हैलेबीडू का ही नहीं, दक्षिण भारत का सबसे बड़ा महत्वपूर्ण कीर्तिस्तंभ है। कर्नाटक के छोटे से शहर हैलेबीडू में द्वार समुद्र झील के पश्चिम में स्थित ये भव्य मंदिर होयसाल साम्राज्य के 3 सबसे ऐतिहासिक स्मारकों में से एक है और दक्षिण भारत में भगवान शिव को समर्पित सबसे महत्वपूर्ण स्मारक भी है। The Hoysaleshwar Temple of Halebedu is the largest monument dedicated to Lord Shiva in the entire South India by the Hoysala Empire. Halebedu became the capital of the Hoysala Empire when Raja Vishnuvardhana shifted the capital from Belur to Dora Samudra. In inscriptions, Halebedu was originally called Dora Samudra or Dwara Samudra and served as the capital of the Hoysala Empire for nearly 300 years. जिस वस्तु से आपने देखा बलूर टेम्पल बनाया गया है, वैसे ही उसी वस्तु से राजा विष्णुवर्धन द्वारा हलेबेडु टेम्पल भी बनाया गया था। The Hoysaleshwar Temple at Halebedu was built with chloritic schist, more commonly known as soapstone. The soapstone is soft when quarried and easier to carve into intricate shapes, but hardens over time when exposed to air. The Hoysaleshwara Temple at Halebedu, along with the nearby Channakeshava Temple at Balur and the Keshava Temple at Somnathpura, was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 2023 as part of the sacred ensembles of the Hoysalas. According to historians and archaeologists, the artwork at Halebedu shows such great details that no two lions are alike in the entire span of 200 meters. Similar to Balur, the Hoysaleshwar Temple complex at Halebedu is placed on a star-shaped raised platform known as Jagati. The Hoysaleshwara Temple is a twin temple dedicated to Lord Shiva. It is Dvikuta Vimana design, that is, a plan with 2 shrines with 2 superstructures. One sanctum is dedicated to the king Hoysaleshwara and the other to the queen Santaleshwara. The temples are of equal size, having 2 sanctums or garbhagrihas, each having its own shivaling representing the masculine and the feminine aspects, both equal and joined at their transept. The artists captured the episodes from the Ramayana, the Mahabharata and the Bhagavata Purana. Though a small town, historically Halebedu is of great significance. It is almost 35 kilometers from Chikmagaluru, 30 kilometers from Hassan and 210 kilometers from Bangalore. होयसल राजवंश की सांस्कृतिक और ऐतिहासिक विरासत के भंडार है ये हलेबेडु. The Hoysaleshwara temple was built on the banks of a large man-made lake by King Vishnuvardhana. Originally a follower of Jainism and known as Bittadeva, when Vishnuvardhana came under the influence of the Hindu philosopher Ramanujacharya, he converted to Hindu Vaishnavism and took the name Vishnuvardhana. The Hoysaleshwara temple at Halebedu is a Shaivism tradition monument, yet reverentially includes many themes from Vaishnavism and Shaktism as well as Jainism. Straight ahead lies the massive water body created by Raja Vishnuvardhana. The Hoysaleshwara temple complex is verdant and thereby naturally soothing with big sprawling lawns, manicured gardens and lots of sitting places for the visitors to relax, connect with nature, chill out, meditate and spend a wonderful time. This is the Hoysaleshwara Shiva temple at Halebeedu, and at present it is cordoned off for the visitors to enter. In the end, I can only say that the Hoysaleshwara temple complex at Halebeedu is simply a feast for the eyes of any enthusiast of Indian history. As for myself, I am so overwhelmed by the splendor and architectural engineering of the Hoysala temples that I consider them to be nothing short of a grand university for sculptors and architects. Just look at the grandeur of the strong, massive pillars that have been withstanding the test of time for several centuries. Hoysala architecture is a marvelous exhibition of human labor. It is the supreme climax of Indian architecture. I am simply wonderstruck imagining the kind of ardent, dedicated effort, highly stimulated aesthetic sense, and impressive engineering skills of the Hoysala Empire. Tourists can visit the Hoysaleshwara temple at any time of the year. The Hoysaleshwara temple is open from 6:30 am to 9 pm. This is a huge, marvelous sculpture of Nandi Maharaj, sculpted out of a single monolithic stone. There are two such extraordinary, beautiful sculptures of Nandi Maharaj in the Hoysaleshwara temple complex. As it is typical for a Vahana to face the main sanctum, and because the Hoysaleshwara temple is designed as twin temples standing side by side, so there are two large bull sculptures wearing garlands, jewellery and bells representing Shiva's Vahana Nandi. Both the Nandi sculptures face each sanctum of the twin temple, gazing upon the two lingas, the Hoysaleshwara Linga and the Santaleshwara Linga. Raja Vishnuvardhana was an ambitious ruler who expanded the Hoysala Empire to a great extent. The temple construction started around 1121 AD and was completed in 1160 AD. This is another beautiful Nandi sculpture facing the Shiva Linga. An inscription kept at the Archaeological Museum at Halebeedu states that the Hoysaleshwara temple was built by Ketamalla in honor of his patron King Vishnuvardhana. Ketamalla was a merchant and an officer in the employ of King Vishnuvardhana. The king in turn granted land to the temple with its agricultural proceeds to support the temple's activities. The inscription only corroborates the fact that both the traders and the royals had an interest in the prosperity of the Hoysala Empire. Hoysala period is considered to be the golden age of South India. Hoysala dynasty had significant contribution towards the development of arts, architecture, literature, religion and philosophy. The kind of intricate work that is depicted in this Hoysaleshwara temple is believed to surpass any form of Gothic art. When I was in school, I read about the temple at Halebeedu. I never thought that the temple could be so immensely beautiful. During the early 14th century, Halebidu was twice ransacked and plundered by the Muslim armies of the Delhi Sultanate from northern India, and the temple and the capital fell into a state of ruin and neglect. The powerful Hoysala Empire with Belur and Halebidu became targets of repeated invasions and plunders by the Delhi Sultanate armies of Alauddin Khilji and Muhammad bin Tughlaq in the early 14th century. The Hoysala kingdom came to an end in the mid-14th century when the last of the powerful Hoysala king, Veer Ballala III, was killed in a war with the Muslim army of Madurai Sultanate. Dora Samudra or Dwara Samudra and its temples became ruins, the capital abandoned, and the site came to be known as Halebidu, literally meaning old capital or a wrecked capital. About 300 of the original Hoysala Empire temples survive in different states of damage scattered around Karnataka. So my friends, signing off for now. Hope you have enjoyed as proudly as I have enjoyed myself, conveying you a plethora of remarkable historical information about the rich cultural heritage of our motherland, India. Stay tuned for more interesting episodes, and please do keep on motivating me by subscribing to my channel Exploring with Travelholics. Thank you.